Hello, everybody. This is meteorologist Wright Dodge from the U.S. National Weather Service in Tallahassee. So we're going to go ahead and give a quick verbal update on what we're expecting here through the next 3 to 6 hours as a severe threat begins to unfold across the area. So looking at the latest radar imagery right now, the main line of storms that's going to cause a severe threat is generally way off into western portions of Alabama right now. But we're also closely monitoring storms that are hanging off in the northern Gulf of Mexico. And as we go through the next few hours, these storms are going to slowly lift north, and as this cold front also begins to push from west east, we're going to see the severe threat likely quickly increase through the next few hours and continue to increase through the rest of the morning as these storms go to the southeast Florida Big Bend. So looking at the current satellite imagery right now, much of the severe weather is being caused by a strong upper level disturbance that's moving currently over Louisiana, and you can see a lot of the storms in the colder cloud temperatures off to the northern Gulf of Mexico as those storms begin to fire up and the dynamics and the instability increases ahead of this system. So as we mentioned, the severe threat, you can see here, and this is a discussion from the Storm Prediction Center. Generally, for the next few hours, the severe threat is going to increase quickly across portions of the Panhandle, western portions of the Florida Big Bend, and potentially further north into southeast Alabama and southwest Georgia over the next few hours. As that severe threat begins to increase, and in line with what the Storm Prediction Center is advertising, we do have a tornado watch that is now in effect for the area. So again, we're going to see that the potential for tornadoes increase in the next few hours as that instability begins to quickly increase and the wind shear begins to increase rapidly as well across the area. So big thing is if you're going to bed right now, you want to make sure your phone is on. Make sure do not disturb mode is off on your phone. If you haven't had a chance to charge your phone, make sure you get all the charge you can in case we get any power outages. And make sure to check on the weather maybe once or twice overnight if you can. So again, looking at severe outlook for right now, generally for the next few hours, generally through just after a few hours after midnight, the severe threat's mostly going to be focused across parts of the Florida Panhandle, southeast Alabama, as that cold front begins to come in. And then as it pushes further east in the overnight hours, we're going to see that threat quickly increase across parts of southern Georgia and especially across parts of the southeast Florida Big Bend. And with the severe weather coming up, all threats are possible, with tornadoes possible, and especially across the southeast Florida Big Bend. Towards early Saturday morning, we could see that potential for strong tornadoes. So again, make sure you're keeping a close eye on the weather overnight. Any severe storms could contain wind gusts up to 50 or even as high as 70 miles an hour. Some of these storms are producing very heavy rain rates, so some flash flooding can't be ruled out, especially across areas that have received a lot of rain over the last day or two. And then in addition to all that, some hail can't be ruled out in these storms. So we want to get through some preparedness actions, basically because we're going to see that threat of tornadoes overnight. Again, make sure you're tuned into your local media and your local weather meteorologists. They'll be able to keep an eye out, and if any tornado warnings are issued, they'll be able to break in on your TV. Make sure your phone is off do not disturb mode, and make sure wireless emergency alerts are on. Also, if you have a NOAA weather radio, make sure that's plugged in. And especially if you have one that operates on batteries, make sure those batteries are good and ready to go. And also, before you go to bed tonight, think about where you would go if you only had 1 or 2 minutes to get to a safe place. And what can be considered a safe place in a tornado? Well, the most interior room in your house that you can find, with the most amount of walls between you and the outside. That's the best place you can go. If you can, do not go on the second floor of your house if you have 2 stories, and if you have a basement in your house, which we understand many places don't, get to the basement if you have one. No place outside is safe from a tornado, so make sure at least, if you can, just get to the most interior place of your house. And again, kind of one thing we want to highlight here, why the interior of your house can be so important. Well, look at this example from a tornado that happened in Newton. I can't remember exactly when this was, but this was in our forecast area during a severe weather event we've had. And you can see that most of the house, unfortunately, was destroyed, but look at the most interior room with the most amount of walls between them and the outside. That is the only room standing in their house. So again, as we go through the rest of the evening and the overnight hours, make sure you're thinking about before you go to bed, where can I get to a safe place in a short, with little to no notice, okay? So with that said, again, as storms begin to increase through the rest of tonight, make sure you guys are keeping an eye on the weather, and we'll be posting occasional updates here on our social media channels as we go through the rest of the evening. Thank you very much.